song, baby boy, baby girl, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is Monday, September 20th. Let's kick it off with a little bit of music today. Let's see if this bad boy works. This here's the Black Pumas, Fire. Fire your soul, baby. Let's do it. Do a little bit of that karaoke. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Oh yeah. Let's go. But it's all in my heart. Keeps me going, steady grooving. And when I love on my mind, keeps me wanting, steady wanting more. There's a fire, call the fireman. If you're in pain, call the doctor. Don't be afraid to say I need you. I don't understand. Oh.
That's what's up, baby boy, baby girl. Don't want to play the entire song. We're going to play around with that, see if we can do a little bit of tweaking, get it on there for you. But check it out. That's the Black Pumas, Fire, baby. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back. What's going on? Hope you guys have had a great weekend. Hope you guys are kicking off. It's what day is today? September 20th. We're going off, kicking off autumn. It's fall, baby. It's that season of change. Change. Making my way downtown, walking fast, passing gas. Da 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 da. No wait. Making my way downtown, walking fast, passing gas. La 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 la. You feel me? It's that season where you gotta be walking outside to pass that gas, baby. Or not, do it wherever you like. But that's I'm very conscious of myself. I try to be self-aware, baby. If I need to, I get my stride in, pass gas when I'm striding, baby. You feel me? Or some of you guys might just like stay idle and pass gas. Whatever, do it up. You gots to do it, though. Everybody does it. Fart jokes. Love fart jokes. Fart jokes, poop jokes. A little bit of the silly williness around here. It's Monday. Feeling great, you guys, not gonna lie to you. I'm very grateful for the little things that are the big things. Making strides, going out and just sending you guys all positive vibes and energy, man. Honestly, go out there after your dreams, whatever it is. We're doing it together, you and I. I'm out there doing it. Sometimes that's the thing, you gotta enjoy the process. I'm enjoying the process, putting in different ingredients every day. Cooking, stirring the pot. What's that smell? Is that gumbo? Is that jambalaya? None of the above. We're cooking comedy around here, trying to at least. Good Lord. And we're, everything's got levels to it. We're not even, we're that white belt right now, shadow boxing. And I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay. I love that because I get to look up to other people, learn, enjoy their stories, and enjoy their life. And enjoy the journey that they've been on, and learn from it. And I appreciate everybody for who they are, where they are, what they're contributing, and I'm so appreciative of, the roof over my head, the fact that I'm in a beautiful city. I'm very blessed. I got wonderful neighbors around me, family, friends, this, that, and it's all good. We're cooking, and very grateful. Gotta go out there and do whatever it takes. Baby was out there on Saturday, took a big hike on the streets, going on Queen Street here in Toronto, going in the, everywhere, side street, back alleys, trying to find comedy spots. Found a couple of clubs, not gonna lie to you, been making phone calls, dialing numbers. Hello, sir, hello, madam. Are you guys holding open mics? And as of yet, still not yet, but that's the thing, I went down there, that's the thing. There's always, you never know, in these stages, I'm always like, there's the few materials that I'd like to be able to go up there. Some of them, who knows how it's gonna go, but whatever, it is what it is. But that's the thing, you get anxious for different things, but that anxiety is just like adrenaline pumping in your blood and just getting into your stream, getting into your system, and it's all exciting. Making good connections. Been calling a few places, went down to a couple of places, and everybody's been super nice. Whoever I got on, I got on the phone with a few people. Everybody's super nice. They're just like explaining to me, and I completely understand. Thank you for taking the time and being so nice on the phone. And a few people, got to see a few people. It was very nice. Everybody's very nice and supportive. They're like, just keep touching base, keep an eye out. That's what I'm doing, baby. Shadowboxing, keep an eye out. Wanting to go there and practice my white belt skills, if you will, and whatever, who knows, maybe one day we'll graduate, and then, but that's the thing, it's just one day at a time. We're taking it one day at a time, baby. It's new changes, it's a new season, it's fall, and we're kicking butt, man. We're kicking butt, ladies and gentlemen. Things are cooking. Every day I just get to come here, share a little bit of my life with you guys. You guys share a little bit of your lives with me. We're all just along on this beautiful journey together. So thank you guys for all the love and support. If you like these videos, go ahead and hit the like button. Lick the like buttons, dude. Lick it on Instagram. Lick it on YouTube. Lick it on Patreon, baby. Lick yourselves a little bit. Give it a good lick. You feel me? And then subscribe, and then tell your friends. Search Rob Sadri so you get the full-length videos on the tubes. That's what it is. Every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. What's going on with you guys? How's everybody doing out there? I can't hear you because nobody's here at this moment, but that's okay, baby. I hope you guys are all doing well anyway. A lot of stuff is happening around here. Let's just go back. Let's bring it in. Do a little bit of local recap. In Toronto, in Ontario, in Canada, today's the day. It's election day. Have you voted? Who'd you cast a vote for? You know? Did you fill out a ballot? Were you registered? It's not that difficult. Go do it if you've not already done it. Here I am preaching after only getting one vote under my belt. Well, that's the thing. It's still better. One's better than none, dude. One's better than none. Okay? Went there last week early. I nipped it in the butt early because I'm that early bird, dog. I don't like lines. I don't like when things get busy. I like to go there, nip it in the bud, you know. And, I was just like, I was hoping I'd get a few extra ballots because I've been, I've not been voting the other years. I'm like, can I, is there a reservoir of votes where you can just like, keep them? I'll keep them and I'll just like go all in at once. But that's not the case. You get one ballot, you get one vote. You cast that spell, magical spell, next thing, boop-de-boop, new PM, dude, Prime Minister. Or maybe the old one will be the same. It's all good. It's all good. Whoever. That's the thing. New beginnings, new attitude. We're changing. Everybody's changing. We're uplifting together. We're lifting. We're going. The cream is rising to the top. Hope so. Hope that's the case. But that's the thing. You cast your ballot. You cast your vote. We'll see what happens. We might go in a new direction. We might go in the same direction. We might, you never know what you're going to get because that's what democracy is. You go there, everybody, and that's the thing. I talk to like neighbors, we'll be running into each other. Have you voted? And everybody's just like looking at it. Have you voted, dude? Have you voted, lady? And everybody's like, yeah, I voted on Monday. I voted on Tuesday. And you're just like looking at each other and you want it. Like there's this, this is new territory for me as well, but I think there's a little bit of this like, the culture of voting. People don't talk about who they voted for or who they want to vote for. I don't know why. It's like we talk about everything around here, but that's the thing, dude. I went and voted, but that's the thing. You're talking to your neighbors, and everybody's like, "You voted, right?" And you're like, "I voted. Did you vote?" And you're like, your brains are connecting, your heart's connecting, your eyeballs are connecting. You're just like looking at each other, and basically what you're asking is, you voted for the same person as I voted for, right? You want that affirmation. You want that, like, yes, same teamsies. And everybody's looking at each other. You're like, you voted, right? My guy, right? You voted for the guy, right? You voted for I'm not gonna say it. You vote for whoever you want to vote for, but deep down inside, you're like, we voted for the same peepsies, right? And then come election day, they don't get elected, or they do get elected. They get elected, fantastic. If they don't get elected, all of a sudden those conversations, now you're going back in your head. You're like, wait a minute, these sweet, sweet connections I was making on the streets with the neighbors, all like connecting through voting. Guess we didn't vote for the same person, did we now? Or we might have ended up voting for the same person. We don't know, but that's the anticipation is there. You're a little bit apprehensive. You're looking at each other. You want that. You're like, you voted, right? You want not just like you voted, but like you voted for the right person, right? But who knows who the right person is? It's difficult. It's difficult to make a decision on these things. Big repercussions. Huge repercussions. Bigly repercussions everywhere. So we'll see, man. Today's the day. It's the night. It's gonna be jam-packed with votes and ballots and counting. And what do you got? I got 159 here. What do you got? And count numbers, doing the classics. That's a little bit of that local news. Together, I hope we make the right decisions, move along, put a lot of this, put a lot of that last year and a half, 2 years of, it's just been building, and let's put a lot of it behind us. Let's move forward. Whatever's the best for the overall population, let's go along with it and support each other, but also question things. So that's the thing. I think there's got to be a balance. There's got to be a balance, right? There's got to be a balance. And if this time my vote doesn't get me the person that I want, and it doesn't get me the results that I want, well, yeah, I don't know what we'll do. We'll have to cross that bridge when we get there. But hopefully things will change a little bit, and enough of it, because we've seen so much, and everybody sees it online. You see it in different major cities all over the world. Paris. Rome, London, New York. Everybody's rising up, going out there protesting against the mandatoriness of mandates, and we're all on board. Most people are like, yes, let's get our rights back, let's get our freedoms back so we can go out there and rock and roll. Most people are out there. If you need the vaccines, you've gotten it. If you want to go get it by all means. If you want to be, that's the thing. It's the beauty of life. You get to make it your own. That's what we're trying to do around here, make it our own, baby boy, baby girl. But, been frequenting the, let me just let's talk about a little bit of a weird, it's heavy news, guys. It's not the best news, but that's the thing. We'll wrap it up with something a little bit more lighthearted, hopefully. In the news, I've just been going through the internet, seeing what's up, and I noticed there was on YouTube, and you guys might have seen this, it's just popping everywhere. There's this not so fun story going around of a young lady and her fiance who went, they went on a cross-country van, or like camping in a van and like cross-country traveling through the US. Gabby Petito, this lady was 22 years old, young lady who just, went out, she went off to an adventure with her fiance, and the fiance returned, or the boyfriend returned. No Gabby, no lady in sight. She's been missing. It's not looking good. That's not, part of me like saw this news, and it's just like, I'm like, okay, well, this type of stuff kind of happens all the time. Why are we seeing more of it? It's like just story after story. Every day it's getting updated throughout the week, hour by hour. And part of me is like, no, this is for real, man. It's probably going down. Part of me was like, man, some things you see that's just like no bueno. Part of your heart's like, my mindset is like, oh man, I wish this was a, psyop, a positive psyop, because you can have different psyops, right? But I was hoping deep down inside, I'm like, let this be, hopefully, but it's probably not. It's for reals. It's not looking good. So my heart goes out to the family. But part of me, when I hear these stories like this, I'm like, let it be like a positive psyop to get because sometimes you need to gain attention, and you need to shine light upon certain subjects or topics that are always going on. That's the thing. These types of things happen all the time, right? Unfortunately. And ladies go missing all the time. I know I was like, especially like here in Canada, man, Aboriginal ladies go missing all the time, and they're victims of violence, whether it's domestic or, through just it happens all the time. Ladies be missing all the time. So it's just like, it was heartbreaking, but part of my thought pattern was, I'm like, man, could this hopefully be a made-up story? It's not. It's for reals. But I'm like, could this be a made-up story just to shine light on an actual, because that's the thing. You'll hear somebody, talking about a certain story. They might be spicing it up, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it's actually for real. And I'm not talking about this particular case. I'm just talking about general cases concerning different things in the world, But that's the thing, man. It got me to I was just thinking, dude, the ladies are falling behind. The fellas are putting up numbers. The ladies are falling behind, and we need to close the gap. Some of y'all guys gotta be. Here's the thing, man. If we're for real, my heart goes out. This sucks. This absolutely sucks that this happens, but this kind of stuff happens all the time, which is led me to think of alternative ways of, combating this issue. Here's the thing, man. I think this scares me a little bit. And thank God I don't have any kids to like be worried about this kind of stuff. But if I had kids, boys, girls, it doesn't matter. What I would do is I would definitely put them in some sort of, from a young age. And I think this probably should be tackled on a federal level, where it should be like a part of the school curriculum, teaching children self-defense, some sort of a martial arts, just so you can protect yourself, dude. And like, you get to weed out a couple of kids that are, or like teach them how to like, because that's the thing, you build great skills. I've never taken martial arts, but now as an adult, I can look at it. I love the UFC, especially over the past year and a half. I've kind of gotten back into watching it again. It's become one of my favorite sports. I have a few people that I really root for, and it gets me going. It's exciting, but also there's an element, whether it's ladies or men who participate in martial arts, it's just like you learn so many things. You get to respect your own body, you get to learn about your own abilities, and you get a lot of energies out there. And also you're, if there's a need for you to be able to defend yourself in a, unkind situation, you got a few techniques, a few moves you can kind of, dip your hand into that skill bag and pull it out and be like, So that's one of the things that I think, this, because before we know it, these are, I hate these types of stories because, yes, as much as they're real and as much as it happens, I don't want there to be, we live in a wonderful society, but because we're living with like 7.5, 8 billion people, our countries are, every place has got a lot of people, and amongst the population, you're gonna have a few people who are, crazy. Let's just say it. Because there's people out there murdering, killing, raping, and it doesn't mean that's the majority. It happens, not that often, but it's still in the grand scheme of things, because we have a large population, it does happen a lot. Even that small fraction is far too many. Now, before we go, this is the thing, man. The eugenicists and the lizard people love this kind of news because they're like, man, great, we get to just scare the people. Let's get them chipped. Let's get you chipped. Let's make sure that you're tracked all the time. Instead of doing all that stuff, I think we should give responsibility a little bit to the self, teach people how to defend themselves, teach people how to fight a little bit, not to go out there and fight, but I think these things are the things that you learn in the academies or the schooling or the martial arts classes that you go to. It's not that you learn how to fight so you go pick a fight, it's so that you can defend yourself, and you learn a lot of these things. And this is just from a guy who's a fan who's been watching the UFC, and it's been kind of just like eyeing things out for some time from afar, not involved, but this is the culture, and I really appreciate it. And you see that with like people who know how to fight and stuff, they're humble, they're not going out there picking fights and whatnot, but that's the thing, you want to prep yourself accordingly, and I think it starts from a young age. If I had a daughter, dude, oh my god, bro, if I had a daughter, dog, first of all, I would make sure that she is basically a ninja, or like I don't know, dude, she'd be like an assassin, guerrilla, just like, I probably wouldn't, she wouldn't shower, she probably, like, I'd let her get like hairy as fuck and just like, and like just jujitsu and just fucking up the guys and the girls up until she's like, I don't know, 18, 19, and then we're gonna have to have a lot of discussions. It's tough being a parent, my heart goes out, but at the same time, if imagine things were about to go down and all of a sudden you know how to put somebody in an arm bar or a triangle or a pretzel, you feel me? Sometimes you gotta just, take those precautionary measures in order to avoid shitty situations. And this, I was watching it, I'm like, man, I hope this is a fake story to shine light upon a larger story, but no, this type of stuff happens all the time, and this young lady decided to go on a trail. I don't know too much about it, but disappeared. It sucks, man, it sucks. I don't know, and the story's still developing. I don't know what, my heart goes out to the family and all the community members, but also, let's try to let's learn from these things. Let's talk more about them, and most of the times, cases of violence, it's most of the times it happens for like between the people that you love the most and like that are closest to you. It's mostly like relatives or family members or spouses going at each other. The murders and the domestic violence abuse cases, it's mostly people that it's hardly ever, not that it's never, but it's most often it's being created within households and amongst individuals who know each other. So it's like, it's that classic saying that love and hate are a thin line, but get to know your partners a little bit before you, I don't know, I don't even know what this, it's just heartbreaking, because it's like, 22-year-old man, why did this have to happen? Why does this kind of stuff happen all the time to the ladies and what have you? We do need to have more talks and discussions about this kind of stuff, and it's not cool, dude. If it doesn't matter who you are, you shouldn't be beating on people or killing people, and these things, I guess we need to talk about them, because that's the thing, it happens. So that's, but if you start, that's the thing, if you start young, if you start at like elementary school and you're like, you get to learn a little bit about people and like teach people different things, right? If you're teaching like, just if it's like straight up, we're just throwing jabs, and one of the kids just like, he's just jumping in for the headlock or the choke. If he's a choker, if he keeps it, you're like, today, we're focusing on the jabs, and he keeps going for the choke, maybe, watch that kid a little bit, just say it, but also don't. But that's the thing, man. It's, instead of, because that's the thing, it's easy to like look at instances of just horrible acts and like act from a place of fear. We're like, we need to get everybody on, because that's the thing. Person goes missing, all of a sudden you're like, man, where's the GPS? Where are the pictures? Where did she upload last? Where is this? Where is that? And all of a sudden the easiest, solution to everybody, and like especially nowadays with so many talks about, more privacy, trying to maintain as little of it as we've got left, and just try to. I think the best way is to prevent it from a young age, and it's just getting everybody to be a little bit more in touch and in tune with their body and spirit. And this again, this I'm not an expert in any of these things, but if I had a kid, I would definitely, boy or girl, I would definitely put him up for martial arts classes. But that's the thing, I wish this was kind of like part of the school curriculum, because I know that's two of the subjects that always gets, the budgets always get cut, the programs always get defunded. They're always, gym class, it's always like, yeah, you got to take a couple of gym classes and it's not that important, but which is the most important thing, our health. If you are not healthy, all else can just, go down the shitter. It really doesn't matter. If you're not healthy, it doesn't matter what you're doing. So that and the arts programs, right? We're always like, oh, there goes music class, or we don't have enough instruments, we don't have enough, oh, there goes art class, we're not painting today. Or it's just, that's the thing, two things that I wish that was a little bit more reinforced was like sports in general, and the martial arts is fantastic. Why wouldn't you want, man, I wish I had that in school growing up. Just learning a few things. You don't need to, and if anybody has that, talent or desire or passion for it, they can go with the support of their parents, with their support of their community, whatever it is, they can take it to further levels. But I think everybody should get a little basic knowledge of self-defense. That's just what I'm saying. Not to even say that that'll prevent everything or all cases of domestic abuse or domestic violence or just regular violence. But it does prep you a little bit. It does prep. If somebody's coming in at you, you throw a couple of moves in there, or you're like, oh, they know how to take care of themselves. Hey, that's right, bucko. Back it up. Back it up, son. Back it up. Back it up. I hope we come out. It's yeah. My heart goes out to the family. I don't know what's happening. It keeps getting updated, but it's one of those circumstances that, again, I think it's shining a light on a bigger picture, and that kind of stuff needs to stop as much as possible, right? Enough of that, dude. Enough of that, lady. Let's kick it off to something else. Let's go off on a different note, ladies and gentlemen. I've been, been keeping busy, been occupying myself, especially on the weekend. Did a little bit of writing, did a little bit of thinking, watched a few things on Netflix. Watched one particular series. I recommend you guys, if you want to get a little bit, that's the thing, man. Normally I don't go out after the scary movies, or like, I just like to be able to get a good night's sleep. That's all I'm trying to say. I like to be able to get a good night's sleep, you feel me? But I don't know, something inside me was just like, I need something that's a little bit, titillating on the, on the scary senses, just like getting me a little bit, I want it to be a little bit scared. I want it to be I want it to be a naughty boy, just, scare me a little bit before I go to bed, just play around. So I watched the Squid Games on Netflix. I believe it's a Korean series, if I'm not mistaken. Double check that. But it's on Netflix, called the Squid Games, and it's one of those like scary movies. But that's the thing, our imaginations have gotten so creative. We keep pushing the boundaries. It's really neat in terms of like, people desperate for money, they gotta get money. What are they willing to do? Push the envelope. And I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. A ton of crazy shit goes down. And you view these things, and I'm viewing these things, and they look like, we're so desensitized to violence and just like crime in general, just like, or like people dying. We're so, through the news, through regular life, we see lots of it, right? So it's just like, you don't feel much. And it scares me a little bit, because I'm like, man, it's, part of us is like, okay, you see it so often on the telly, or it's being depicted in media in different forms. I'm just like, I wonder what kind of effects, I'm just curious to know about the effects that these things have on our psyche. How normal does it become for you when you're, because that's the thing, the first first episode, I was just like, I can't watch any of this anymore. Turned it off. The next day, came back, watched 4 other episodes. So, little by little, you work your way up. And we need to have these discussions more, because at the end of the day, it's like and this topic gets, it gets depicted in different ways and formats, but it's just like, it comes down to, like, oh, everybody's got a price and they'll pretty much do anything. And I'd like to think that we are able to hold on to a little bit of our humanity, a lot of our humanity, that you don't need to necessarily go do certain things for the sake of money. But that's essentially it. The message that keeps getting repeated throughout history is just like, you work for money, and like, get the money, get the cash, get the cheese, get the dough, get the cheddar, get that bank, get that. And it's great too, because like, we need to obviously find a way to motivate everybody so that everybody's out there working and what have you. Tricky situation, right? But it's different from different perspectives. Like, money means so many different things to so many different people, depending on how much or how little you got, right? And that's what it is, man. Sometimes you're like, there's no way I do a certain thing, and then down the line you get dragged into a situation where you're like, all right, I guess I'm doing this thing. But that's the thing, where do we, and I'm hoping to finish it, and I'm hoping that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And even if it's not at the end of the tunnel of that particular depiction or movie or series, I do believe that there is an end, and there is a light at the end of this tunnel, which is life. And I think overall in the world, there's far greater good than there are, evil wizardry going on as well. But we need to be just like constantly thinking about these things, evaluating, especially as our species grows, both, in numbers, and we're evolving and we're maturing, individually and societally. It's just interesting to think about, man. I wonder if there will ever be a time where we just like kick money, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like kick the habit of money or accumulating money. I wonder how that's gonna go, because it doesn't make any sense on a lot of levels. We've mentioned this so many times, yet all of us, at the end of the day, that was one of my biggest fears, you guys. That was one of my biggest fears, to be honest, going into the initial days of the pandy, going back a year and a half, 2 years ago. I was afraid it'll create a society where a lot of people like lose jobs, lose their means of getting money and providing for their family. And I was afraid of more rise in crime. And we saw that so many people were just like going to stores, robbing them down in the US. You'd hear, acts of violence here and there. It's just like, the more people get desperate, the more they'll do things that are, irrational. They'll do that crazy shit that they normally wouldn't do. So I was just like, I was worried about those kind of things. And somehow we've still, that's the thing, we're having an election right now. A lot of issues are just not getting discussed. How much people are making, the average Canadian worker, how much are we making? What about the rates of inflation, the housing market, these are topics that are now impacting everybody globally, right? Everywhere it's become extremely expensive to buy a piece of land and property, and these basic amenities really go in paving the foundations of having a healthy and safe society. That's just, my 2 cents on it. Well, what do I know? We're just here for the jokes and the shits and the giggles. Hope you guys are all doing well, man. But that was, if you want to be a little bit scared, if you want to watch a little bit of something that's like, because I wanted something that's a little bit different than just regular, quote unquote, leaning Hollywood or leaning like, Western media. I'm always consuming that anyway. It's just sometimes good to go see a different perspective, a different culture. And right now, especially with the restrictions, we can't really travel that much, speaking for myself. So it's just nice to experience something, although it might be a little bit scary or a little bit out there, but different culture, different perspective, different actors, different lens, and it's just neat. So I do recommend it. But there's a ton of other movies that are coming out that I'm excited about, man. That's fall for you. That's fall, and that's autumn season for you. A lot of exciting things are happening. One of the movies that I've been anticipating, and it's coming out very soon, Many Saints of Newark. Many Saints of Newark is coming out, and I'm very excited for that. It's the prequel, if I'm not mistaken, to The Sopranos. Your boy loves The Sopranos, man. I used to watch that as a kid. I've even watched it a few times in my adult years. It's, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, it's one of the best TV series ever. ever. And I'm very excited for the prequel. I'm very excited to see a few of my favorite cats. Okay, not gonna lie to you guys. I root for people. I love people, and there are a few cats who I just admire and love them on different levels. And sometimes I don't want to say certain names just because, yeah, I don't want it to, yeah. I'm very happy for this entire project. I'm very happy for this entire project. I'm very happy for everybody who's involved in it. And I can't wait to see it, dude. I can't wait to see it. That's one of the movies that I'm looking forward to, hopefully catching it. The new James Bond I'm also looking forward to, dude. Oh man, that's the thing. We're getting in that, like, it's just like fall, autumn, James Bond go hand in hand, dude. It's like, oh, I don't know what it is. It does something for me. It's that season. It's that season to wrap yourself around, get a scarf and go out there and have a cup of coffee, mingle with a couple of friends, go catch a movie, and just, you get out there and you experience a good solid experience. We need to get these things back. And I'm excited. And I'm very happy for everybody doing different amazing things all the time. It's such a wonderful world to be alive in and part of, and it's like there's so many beautiful things you can be involved in. So if you're, if you're in a relationship, or even if you're alone, it doesn't matter. If you're going through mental health struggles or whatever it is, man, talk to somebody. Go get these. There's so many ways to get help these days. You're not alone. You're not. We're lowering the stigma every day. Don't do anything crazy, wilding out, doing drastic shit that you end up regretting. Just if you're having one of those moments, just take a step back, take a breather. If you ever get into a fight with your loved one, just like verbally, or like, I hope it never comes down to the fact that it gets physical between anybody. But before it even gets to that, you can all mitigate. Just give yourselves a little bit of breathing room. Move back, take a few steps back, remove yourself from the environment, come back. You can talk about it when you're all cool, calm, and collected. Don't act irrational, because that's the thing, man. You hear stories like that, you hear tons of other stories that just happens to both men and women, and it's just no bueno, dude. We need to just treat each other a little bit nicer, a little bit with more love and respect, and keep on rocking and rolling, baby. We're living on. This is, you guys, how magical is this? There is this giant ball floating in space, and we're on it, and it's not falling, and it's beautiful outside. Go out there, enjoy your lives, lift each other up, hug each other, give each other love and support. And yeah, man, if anybody's out there who's having, you're going through something, you're a little bit, go talk to somebody. Go talk to a therapist if you want to. There's online services now that you can just like call a therapist, like do a video chat with them. You can talk to family members, friends, seek professional help, exercise, see if there's so many things that you could be doing to help yourself get. And that's the thing, I always say these things, and I preach it and I practice it myself. That's why I go for my hikes. I go for, try to make time to spend a little bit thinking about others beside myself. These are the little things. Write down the things that you're grateful for. And nobody's perfect, but I'm just saying, if you feel like you're alone out there, you're not alone. Get the help that you need, and let's have a good time, baby, because we're floating in space, dog. We're floating in space. We're basically space travelers, okay, you guys? We're a bunch of just like space and star particles that have accumulated in this form, and we're just having a ball, baby. We're having a ball. Okay, it's Monday. Stay silly, Willy. I love you guys. Thank you for all the love and support. Go ahead and lick those videos, dude. Lick them on Instagram, lick them on YouTube, lick them on Patreon, and then we'll be back here again on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday to wrap up another beautiful week. It's the beginning of fall and autumn. Go get it out there. Love you guys. Sending all you guys positive vibes and energy. Talk soon. Peace out.